Everybody, I just wanted to pop on and do a video on date nights. A lot of us in Ireland are taking holidays for the next few weeks, and if you've gotten out of the habit of having a date night with your other half, this might be a time to get them back and started, or maybe talk about getting them back back up and running. A lot of people think, we're not dating anymore. Why would we bother with date nights? Date nights are very, very, important, and they don't have to be expensive. They can, incorporate activities that are inexpensive. They don't need grand gestures or expensive night out. Sometimes just keeping it simple, something you both like to do, or even staying at home and watching a movie together. Get work together to get the kids to bed early, and just spend some time together. Um, you know, they are a great opportunity to step outside the norm of your daily life, and kind of reduce down the stress that you feel as a couple. They are vital to maintaining your relationship. Because at the end of the day, when the kids are grown up and they've gone off and they're living their own lives, it's just the two of you again. Um, you know, and they're really important, and we have to understand that these date nights are a way to kind of maintain and support and enhance your relationship. So how do they do that? Well, the first one, enhance the relationship. How can they enhance your relationship? um they enhance the friendship, is what they do. And friendship, as we know, is a vital component to any relationship. um and date nights help maintain that friendship, because they help maintain open and honest lines of communication between you two of you, away from the pressure of your day-to-day life and what's going on. It reinforces this idea of your other half, your partner, your wife, your husband, having your back. They have your back. They're there. They're your friend. They also help you. When you have this friendship going, it helps you know resolve conflict a little bit easier, because you don't see your partner as the enemy. Okay, so things can work in your favor when that happens. Um, the next thing I'd say is number two, is that it can bring you emotionally closer together. At the start, when and I've talked about the stages of a relationship that we go through. It's kind of cycles that a relationship goes to. But the initial romance phase, when you were out dating one another, that kind of wears off after a while. And date nights are a way of rekindling this earlier romantic phase, the earlier desire, the romance, and brings you closer together. If you can add in a little bit of flirting, um, predate, texts and things like that, a hug, a gesture, a loving gesture of anything like that. And again, I'm not talking about money here, guys. This is just about physical closeness. Um, this can help increase the affection and the emotional closeness that you get. And when emotional closeness brings more depth to the relationship, and this is vital if you want intimacy. And again, people think intimacy, they think sex. Not necessarily. Okay, you can be you can have an intimacy with your other half that you feel emotionally close to one another. Does not necessarily involve sex. Hopefully it does, if that's what you want. Number three, the communication will improve between you both. Because a date night should be a step away from what's going on in your everyday life. So we park the conversations about the house, the kids, the finances, the family, the friends, and the work. You take a step away from that and try and go out and enjoy yourselves just as a couple, like you did when you were dating. Um, this will help reduce the stress. You can use another night, and I do advise that you do that, that you use another night in the week, um, or once a month or whatever you two have worked out together. But that's when you talk about the responsibilities. You know, you catch up together as a couple on the house, the finances, the kids, the friends, the family, work, whatever. You do that on a different night. On a date night, that is parked. And you both agree that you don't talk about this because you need to step away from the normal routine and just have a couple of hours together as a couple, at least once a week. So it's about reconnecting as a couple. It's a good idea then to talk about your relationship on that night. So it's about you two. And, you know, as I said, open and honest lines of communication is what should be happening there. Number 4, you grow as a couple and you grow as each other. Okay. When we as we age, basically, we change. You know, we change, and our likes and our dislikes change, and as a result too, our relationship changes. It does change. And we have to help it grow. It has to be both of you working together as a couple to make sure it grows as you two grow. You know, so having fun and spending some time together, having a laugh, watching some comedy on that you both like on the telly, you know, no kids to distract you, is a simple way to do this. You know, a board game at home. It doesn't have to be expensive. Is what I'm trying to get across to you. It's nice if you can go out, and that's why I'm saying the holidays might be a nice time to rekindle that and nurture that again, and make a resolution to try and do these date nights again. Because these date nights, you know, help nurture your resilience as a couple. It helps, you know, nurture the resilience of the relationship. And that's important when it comes to the tough time. The friendship is what you'll fall back to as you go through those relationship cycles, as I talked about at the start. But and go check out that video I did on that. But you know, you need relationship resilience as well, and this is what you're working on together. When you do these date nights, because that's what you tend to fall back on and rely on when tough things happen. Remember, we're social creatures. We need human contact, human touch. We need to feel that, you know, our other half feels that we're worth their time and effort, and they want to prioritize us. We had that at the start. We want to rekindle that. You know, we want to feel more connected and supported and safe. And the thing I'll say to you is women need that. And, you know, if you don't have that, if a woman doesn't have that, then she's more likely to leave. So, you know, it is important that you work on that relationship together and build it as you grow and change, and you know, as he or she grows and changes, then so does the relationship. So you need to work on that together, and this is why date nights are important. Number 5, it can shake things up in a positive way. You know, we can become a little bit lackadaisical, and we can take our other halves for granted. That happens. Okay. So, you know, routine and mundane things of life that we go through, they can really be a killer sometimes of a relationship. So these date nights could be an opportunity for you both to step out of your comfort zone. I'm not saying that you you know, need to do anything extravagant or anything big. Again, though, you know, a little bit of planning on both your parts. And again, a relationship takes both people, so it is about both of you. Discover things that you might like to try and go try them. Okay, even if your other half is the one that wants to do it, go try them, but make sure they're also be willing to try your stuff. So, you know, try things together. Step outside the comfort zone. Push yourselves a little bit. Doesn't have to be too much, a little bit. And plan it out what you'd like to do on those date nights. Number six, as I'd already hinted at, you're cutting your chances of getting a divorce. And that might seem obvious. You know, as I said, we need to feel connected to our other halves, our spouses. If you want to avoid the divorce court. If you're not connecting, and I mean in a meaningful way, with your other half, then you're more likely to seek a divorce. I had hinted at that about when I talked about women. The research is very clear on that one. Women are 4 times more likely to seek a divorce if they don't, feel connected to the other person anymore, if they've lost that intimacy and connection. And again, I'm not talking about the sex, I'm talking about feeling close to somebody. And the thing I'd say to you there is, divorce mightn't seem date nights mightn't seem so expensive if divorce is on the cards. So, because that can be pretty expensive for a lot of people. So think about it. If you haven't done this for a while, think about reinstating these date nights. If you have some time off, it is a good time. It is a good time to away from the pressures. If you're on holidays, away from the pressure of family and work and friends, that you can just take that time and talk things through with one another when the kids are in bed. Tire them out at the beach or whatever, and then sit and just have a leisurely drink and, have a chat while the kids are asleep in the bedroom, and talk things through with one another. And try and reinstate these date nights. Don't use the words "we need to talk," because men in particular do not like to hear that phrase. They'll run amok. I'm gone. They don't like that phrase. It shuts them down. So don't use that phrase. You think about your words and how you want to communicate them. Think through what you want to say and how you want to, approach this subject. And you can say things like, I'd love to have a date night. This is, if you're out and you're already out on having an evening meal or something, and you've just come back from that. Oh, that was lovely. I'd like to try that again. I mean, that's a simple way of getting that topic started. So think about what you want to say before you say it. I'll leave it there. As always, if you have a question, I'm here. I'll answer them. Enjoy your holidays if you are taking a couple of weeks off, and I will see you all again at the end of the summer. Thank you.